Konnichiwa YouTube! Welcome back to Archeage Live with your host, OnlyOneShinobi. And today, in this episode, I'd like to take a look at the Obsidian Weapons. So, by now, you are probably familiar with Obsidian Weapons. It's kind of one of the main things in the new Diamond Shores expansion pack that came out last week. So by now, hopefully you've already started farming. For those of you who haven't, this episode is going to be a basic rundown of the crafting requirements and the different types of weapons, and then we'll take a look at how to farm the materials in maybe a later episode. So first, the first thing you need to know is Obsidian Weapons. What are they? If you take a look at your crafting, you'll notice, for example, let's take a look at shields. The average shield goes through a basic set of RNG, and you can get pure stats, things like strength, stamina, or intelligence, or whatever. They have some basic combinations, right? If we go into the auction house, for example, and just look at shields, let's go to weapons, shield, and look at Ethereum. For example, you'll see here that crafted combinations are things like defense, stamina, intelligence, earth, which is stamina, wave, intelligence, and so on. So you get this combination of stats and some sockets, etc. Now, the Obsidian weapon then offers you a different type of stat as well as an equip bonus. So if we look at the Obsidian shield here, this is only tier 1, but it's pure stamina, and it gives you a 200 physical defense bonus on equip. So this is actually going to be best in slot for tanks. If you're just looking to be a tank, you're not concerned about damage output, or you're getting damage output from somewhere else, this is going to be a pure tank stat item. So this is quite good for tanks. I myself already have one, as you can see, Obsidian Shield, blue quality. So the first thing you're going to want to do then is decide which weapons you need. So some of these have different stats and equip bonuses. For example, healers typically use a club because it has healing power, right? Your club has healing power. The Obsidian Club, I believe, also has healing power, so you can still do that. It also increases your heal bonus. However, you'll notice with Obsidian that the short spear here, typically an offensive item, also has a healing bonus, and this decreases your cast time. So this is going to make it interesting for those healers who also want to put out DPS. Classes like Argent, maybe Templar for sure, is going to want the spear. So sort of tank healers are going to want this. Another interesting item is the katana. The katana here has magic damage, magic attack bonus, and decreased cast time. So and you can dual weld these, I believe. No, this is right hand only, sorry. In any case, it's definitely something that a dagger spell could use with a shield. Give yourself a little bit more defense and still put out some magic damage. Other things, I think the great spear, the long spear, is great for archers. It has ranged critical damage bonus, and it's pure agility. So this is going to be fantastic. So basically, you need to take a look through the different weapons and decide which one is going to be for you. So I think with the advent of the Obsidian Weapons, it opens up a lot of interesting class combinations. You might see people playing classes they normally don't. It also gives you a different way to customize your stat balance. For example, I'm wearing a lot of earth jewelry for magic defense, but if we take a look at the Obsidian loot, for example, Obsidian loot actually offers magic defense, so I can pick up my magic defense here and put on some different jewelry for DPS options if that's the case. So once you've decided which piece you want, you're gonna have to look at the other required materials. So let's go back to the shield, because that's what I'm currently working on. You need, for tier 1, you just need 10 malevolent obsidian. This is really easy to get. and a salvaged illustrious shield. Now that's going to be the most expensive part. For tier 2, you need another salvaged illustrious, some other materials including aquamarine, which we'll take a look at in a second. And then for tier 3, you'll need a salvaged magnificent shield. Now there's 6 tiers in total. I'm going to put the first 3 in one group because the materials here, the obsidian, haunted obsidian, and the ritual aquamarine, are all going to come from the same place. And then the next set here, anticipation, long anticipation, seer's anticipation, tier 4 through 6, this all comes from a different place. So the first set then, the obsidian parts, these items you can find in Diamond Shores, Sungold Fields, and Exaloc. If we pull up the map here, I'm going to say the best place to farm might actually be Sungold Fields. Down here there are griffins. They've got a guaranteed drop for the malevolent obsidian, so it shouldn't take you too long. And then in Exaloc, again near the recall spawn point, near the lodestone here, there's some giant dinosaur things. We'll take a look later. Some giant dinosaur things with a high drop rate. You're going to want to farm those in these 2 areas. So the most, or the hardest thing to find is going to be the ritual aquamarine. Here we need an aquamarine, this gem here, and it doesn't drop so often. It's kind of rare. I farmed for about 2 hours. I have 4. And some pieces, like the katana for example, the katana takes tainted jewel. Now these 2 gems drop, they're pretty rare, but they don't drop too rarely. I think if you farm for a little while, you should be able to acquire enough at least to get 1 weapon up to tier 3. Shouldn't take you too long. The hardest thing to do is going to be getting the salvaged pieces. So you can already see that from, if we go to the auction house, let's look at shields because that's what we're focusing on, and just type in illustrious. You'll notice here that the cheapest illustrious is actually 600. There are no salvaged pieces on the market. For something like the sword, there are a bunch of salvaged illustrious on the market. So again, about 600 per piece here. Dagger, 600. So they're all relatively stable in price. Katana actually only 400. So if you're looking for a katana, now might be a good time. But basically that's about the price you're looking at. So 450 to 600 depending on the piece you're looking for. That's going to be the most expensive part. So once you do that, you go farming out in Diamond Shores or Exaloc Sungold Fields, and then you're ready for the next set of 3, which is more grinding. So if we go back to the list and take a look at the last 3 tiers, tier 3, tier 4 through 6, this takes items called dense lead, sulfur, Ruthard's doodles. We've got other things like a mercury solution, Ouroboros statue, and then world boss drops, wins bronze cross, and then finally tier 6 takes this is something from Morpheus the Forsaken, and something here, nightmare bowstring. So these are materials in a higher floor of the library or from world bosses like a chilled sea foam, and so these things are going to take a little while to create. Not only that, but at tier 6 you actually need to use 3 pieces of salvaged delphinad, which is going to be extremely expensive. All of that said, I mean, this is going to be best in slot for tanks because it's a pure stamina stat with physical defense bonus. So it's going to be worth it in the long run, but that comes with a pretty hefty price tag. So that being said, then the next tier 4 through 6, the next 3 tiers here, you're going to want to go to the Anyanad Ruins, which are in Diamond Shores. So let's go back to our map, go up to Diamond Shores, which is the new zone that came out, and you'll see in the center here the Anyanad Ruins. I can't pronounce that, I apologize. You need to go in here. It's a farmable instance. You can go in with a group of 5 people. Many people can go in with you, but it's non-PvP, so you have free farm. It's basically like a giant square with different rooms where you can kill shit, and the shit drops random pieces of other stuff that you need to craft. So once you decide which weapon you've got, you've basically got hours upon hours upon hours of grinding to do. Welcome to the next Hasla, only you've got better gear this time. So that being said, it's not bad for experience. I spent a couple hours in the library the other day and I'm already at 51. I know some people are at 55 already, but I don't play non-stop, so that's part of my problem. But I will catch up. No worries. That's going to be all for this episode then. Basically, you're going to want to choose your weapon, get your salvage material, and get to farming. You're not going to want to be too far behind because people are already upgrading these, regrading these, getting legendaries or celestial versions of these. And so you want to get ahead of the game here, otherwise you're going to get completely stomped by level 55s with tier 6 obsidian. So get started on that, save your money for regrades because it is expensive, and we'll take a look at that in another episode. For now, that's going to be all. Stay tuned. We're going to take a look in the next episode maybe about going out and farming for those aquamarines, take a look at what the drop rate really is like and how long that's going to take you. So stay tuned, should be coming next week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. For now, Shinobi out.